Welcome back, everybody, to Sources from the Sofa. This is Rome. We got Aaron, Jaeson. We got a lot to recap. It's recap weekend. We're going to be recapping starting from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We had a doubleheader today, as well as a Game 7 in the ALCS. We had F1 in Austin, which was a thrilling race, in my opinion. I enjoyed watching the whole thing and found out my daughter loves watching races as daddy drives really fast. So hopefully she doesn't tell her mom that, but she really loved it. She was really bummed when she saw her driver drop from like 12th to 19th.
I mean,
to give you like a hint of who she was going for.
Rome, you were in a relationship with her for 6 years, so I'm sure you drove her around. She knows how you drive.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a mystery anymore.
Yeah.
You just need your daughter as soon as you guys are at a street light or whatever, and then it turns. You just need her to get all like crofty on the announcements, go, "It's lights out," and away we go.
Dude, she really loved it, man. I was really excited. I tried switching back to the football game. She's like, "What?"
She's like, "Daddy, why don't we ever watch this? Because it's on at 5 a.m. in the morning."
Yeah, you're still asleep, baby. She was going for Hajar, right? Hajar?
Isaac Hajar?
Isaac Hajar, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it wasn't a good
Is that
time.
The pink car?
No, that's either Pierre Gasly or Franco
Gasly.
Colapinto.
My bad. It was Gasly. Yeah.
Okay.
She was in tears when she saw it. He was in 12th and down to 19th.
Yeah,
getting lapped by Verstappen there on the final like 2 laps. Like, oh, Daddy, he's gonna get first. Oh no, that's the guy lapping him.
She's like, what's happening?
Gasly was so bad. Colapinto was like trying to pass him, and they told him, "Hey, don't pass." He's like, "What? He's slow."
He's slow. Did you hear that? The shit talking for like 18th and 19th place. I'm like, what's going on here?
Even the announcer's like, you know, he's fighting for his job. That's why he wants to pass him.
Yeah,
it's fair. It's fair.
That's so funny. Anyways, F1. Classic baseball games as well. Let's jump straight into the NFL, though. This was week 7. We had a doubleheader Monday night. We're recording Monday night at 8:45. We're at recording halftime, really. Seattle's up 14-6 against the Texans. Really great game between the Lions and the Buccaneers. I don't know if you guys caught that. Maybe we could do like a quick little 2-minute recap of there. I just thought first of all, I was also upset that Detroit didn't go for the field goal when they went for like a fourth and 1. It was like on their own 15. And I was just like worried about the point spread. So I get another victory this week. I'm like, dude, I hope that doesn't come bite me at the butt at the end. But really good game. Evans started in my fantasy league, 0 points.
Done for the year.
Yeah. Tough.
Is he out for the year?
To go out. I don't know, man. Probably. He's not getting 1,000 yards, though.
Well, he got a concussion and a shoulder injury, right?
I thought I heard the shoulder. ESPN said broken collarbone.
Oh, really?
Let's see.
So pretty much mostly out towards the end of the year. So
most of the season.
He might be back for playoffs, probably.
Yeah, that's usually worst case 4 weeks to 8 week injury. So what are we in week? Yeah, he might come back the final. Might be back around the same time Joe Burrow's back. Same kind of window.
That's crazy.
Well, that ends the streak of what I don't know if it's 11 or 12 years 1,000 yards receiving, right?
Yeah. It's done. It's done. Over. It is over, and he's our age, right? 38. 37?
Something like that.
So it's gonna be tough recovery. I'm dealing with my own knee injury right now. Look at this is going to be a longer recovery than I want it to be. But it started off with Bengals. We recorded that night, did the lines for the week. Bengals with the big upset in the icy hot bowl.
Mike Evans is only 32, so he's not that old.
Oh, okay. That's not bad.
It's not bad. It's not a leg injury, so I think that's good for him going forward.
I think you're trying to de-age us a little, Rome. We're more in that Flacco, Aaron Rodgers age range.
We are.
In the all gray showdown on Thursday night.
Hey, but
11 seasons, though.
They shined. They still got it.
Yeah, they shined.
Hall of Famers.
Really good. Hall of Famers, man. Well, both of them? Flacco, too?
Maybe not so much Flacco, but...
No, but still, like, he's done well everywhere, though. Like, I give him a lot of props, man.
Could be an interesting study when you look at his career numbers at the end. Like, you compare to him versus, like, is it like Eli Manning or some of these other guys that you say are shooing for a Hall of Fame? Like, Flacco's got the Super Bowl ring. He's going to have tons of numbers put up here by the end.
Honestly, if they had kept starting him at the other places instead of waiting until like week 8 or 10, his numbers would be a lot better. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
Yep.
You have some really good numbers.
It's crazy because you put him in at any team, just middle of the season. Because it was 3 years ago when he just joined the Browns midseason. They were just an absolute train wreck and brought him
Took
in
him to the playoffs
single-handedly, just winning games with them.
He might get the Bengals there too. I mean, we talked last week, Rome. You tried to declare him dead. Me and Jason said, "Wait, hold the break. Life support, but not quite buried dead." And here they are.
Well, that's why Tomlin was pissed off that the Browns would.
I don't blame Tomlin for
trade
being
their quarterback to the Bengals because everyone could have benefited from this, and then
look at that's the Browns. That's the Browns sticking it to Pittsburgh. That's all it is.
I think
right
so.
There. It really is.
Yeah, they're like, if we can have a good season, no one in the division can have a good season. They just fucked everyone over.
Yeah,
pretty wild.
There was some pretty good Cleveland sports radio after Flacco had that performance and everything, just ripping why we traded this guy and within the division, and we'd having a meltdown over like the Browns.
Oh, dude, I love it. I love local radio when they're just like blasting their teams, man. There's like a lot of clips this week for some reason. I can't remember who the other team was. Once it pops up, I'm pretty sure we'll remember it. I think it was Seattle. It could have been Seattle baseball. No, not Seattle baseball. Milwaukee. Anyways,
that was a brutal series for them.
Brutal series. But back to NFL, we were rewarded with a standout performance by the Rams in London. Demolished the Jags. Jags now lost 3 in a row. And then everything else, though, it was entertaining game between the Giants and Broncos. Giants should have won that. They gave that one away. They have a paper clip for a defensive coordinator over there. Colts win a big one against the Chargers in dominating fashion. We talked about it. I thought that might go that way, but we all had the Chargers, I believe, and Chargers don't look anything of what they were the first 3 weeks, losing a golden opportunity, and now it's really tied up and jumbled up right there in their division. Pack barely escaped Arizona. Cowboys manhandled the Commanders in surprising fashion. Their defense, I think those like man coverage is when they had like the most success. It was like 60% of the snaps. Lions won a big one today. 49ers, really impressive with pitch patch work on offense and defense. Robert Saleh doing a phenomenal job as the DC over there. And Shanahan, possibly coach of the year candidate. Bears win a good one, right? Again, against the Saints. Solid victory. Browns beat the shit out of the Dolphins. That is my nominee for ass whipping of the week. Once the weather changed and it was going to be windy, and I don't know why the Dolphins went away from the run game and they just had Tua passing him more times. And while they were doing a highlight of him throwing an interception, he literally threw another interception during that highlight on another broadcast. It was really hilarious. And then it started making the socials. Dolphins are done. Panthers, close one against the Jets. Go figure. Eagles, Vikings. I didn't catch too much this game, so you guys have to tell me a little about that. Patriots, Titans, so it's really tight, but Patriots manhandle them in the second half, and Rabel wins the grudge rematch, I guess. Thoughts on most impressive victories of the week for the NFL?
One of the early ones you said, I don't know if impressive is the right word where you put it, but the Broncos-Giants game, I mean, this was a game where 33 points in the fourth quarter by the Broncos. So maybe it wasn't the greatest game, but man, the fourth quarter the Broncos put up, I mean, something of it's kind of legendary is overstating, but just it's an all-time game really when you look at with some of the comebacks and things like that, and an all-time just collapse by the Giants at the same time too for what, Dayball. So your guy, Rome, I mean, you and Aaron backing him for forever. Okay.
I don't like Dayball, but
I like Dayball. I'll back him.
You know what's funny? Yeah,
I'll back
what's
him.
funny? I was thinking about it. It's like the Giants, man. They got like a really fast car, right? Like a Lamborghini, but they drive it like some 19-year-old that's never been in the car before. Dayball's not the right guy for it.
I'm gonna
They
go
don't
the
have the right
opposite,
defensive coordinator to it.
They don't have a Lamborghini. They have a Honda or some cheap-ass car they try to drive like a Lamborghini now that they got Dart in there. And it ain't got no brakes.
Dart's good.
It ain't got no brakes on it. Dart cost him that game. That interception cost him the game, and that was just a bad pick.
Yeah, I think there's probably a ton of moments when you're going into the fourth quarter. I mean, really, when you looked at the Thursday night game prior, where they feel like they found something with Jackson Dart and Scadaboo, and like, hey, this is the identity of this Giants team, and you're up. What were they up 20-0 going into the fourth?
19-0, yeah.
19-0. So they're 19-0.
20. Was it 26-8? Like with 6 minutes to go. 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
Just insane, like drives it, and then because at a certain point, when the Broncos took the lead, they're like, man, they scored too quickly because there was like 2 minutes left in the game.
Yeah.
At that point, and then the Giants go down the field and like, there's just not enough time left. It just crazy completions.
Well, you talk about it, but even the Giants scored too quickly, right? They left like 35 seconds of a timeout, and all they needed was a field goal because the guy can't make an extra point. So that even, I mean, they missed 2 extra points, a 2-point conversion. So the Giants had left 4 points off the board, which looked irrelevant for 58 minutes of that game.
Dude, they got the touchdown with 30 something seconds left. He missed another extra point that makes it possible for the Denver Nuggets, the Broncos, to win by field goal. And they just complete 2 long passes, got in field goal range, and Lutz just nailed it. But that was tough, man. I don't even know who their kicker was.
Will Lutz? Is it Lutz for Broncos?
Yeah,
are you talking about for the
Giants? Giants.
Well, what's his name? Graham's hurt, so it's some guy they just picked up a couple weeks ago. But what's funny is on that first pass that Bo Nix completed, I don't even think he was going to that guy. I think he was going to Mims, cutting across, and it missed him, and Sutton just happened to be squatted down and caught it. He really look at it, I think, but they may deny that.
No, that was a crazy game, man. I caught the second half of the fourth quarter when they were making the comeback. I was just trying to keep in touch with the points here for, I guess, the spread contest, but pretty miraculous. I guess Bo Nix got 2 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns that fourth quarter, 32 points or 33 points in the fourth quarter. That is ridiculous. And Denver's 5-2, but man, these victories have been tight, very, very tight.
It's been tight. We talk about your fantasy team a lot, Rome. I was a big Bo Nix believer in one of my leagues, and that fourth quarter really turned it around for me on one of my teams. Although I was playing him in a different league and just absolutely demolished me. But I've been waiting for a Bo Nix performance like this any game now. But no, I mean, Aaron's been on the Broncos since last season with Sean Payton and what Bo Nix has. You're right. They've been close, but I think that's where you just want to get victories in the NFL, and then matchups and all sorts of crazy circumstances, happen in a division that they're in right now. The Chargers, we thought, a month or so ago, they were going to run away with this thing, and now they have fallen back. The Chiefs, people left them for dead at 0-2. They have a dominant victory and up there. And so even scraping by the Broncos there's a lot of division games ahead of them. 5-2 leading this division right now is exactly where they want to be. And, they'll have some tight games against these division opponents. But I think if you're 7 games in, 5-2 with Denver, you're really happy with yourself.
Pretty good, actually. Yeah. 4 straight wins in a row.
Well, Rome, I mean, Broncos are 5-2. They could easily be 7-0. I mean, they don't get that penalty against the Colts. The Chargers beat them on a field goal late, but they could also be, sitting here 3-4. Yeah. So, I mean, they would take 5-2 given what they've done. I mean, benching Bo Nix for Herbert, like you did, Rome, was the right call. Herbert was lighting it up all game. Nix put on a fourth quarter that was great, but let's be real, he probably had 5 points going into the fourth with 8 minutes ago. I mean, you were sitting there God damn, I made the right decision. 8.
No, I was destined to lose this week, man. I was destined to lose.
Well, you got beat. Yeah, you got destroyed.
We can talk about it later. I got destroyed, dude.
But I would say, just going back with the Broncos, you're right, Rome, close wins, but they really haven't found their offense. And maybe till this fourth quarter is the point we say, hey, the Broncos really found something. But the last week, that was an abysmal offensive performance they had, barely snuck away with that victory, and just there's been so inconsistent. And then the first 3 quarters of this game versus the Giants were just absolutely nothing. This is maybe the springboard to get them. So if they find something offensively here down the stretch, and they still have good defensive play, the Broncos can really do something.
Yeah, I mean, you go back to the game in London, and this one, that was 6 straight quarters of only 3 points. Going back to this second, third, and fourth in London, the first 3 here. So
Well, the
yeah, I mean
defense
that
doesn't look
offense
that great either.
that offense had really struggled. The defense is really good to keep them in that game. I mean, Dart and that offense has been really explosive. I mean, we talk about a team. I mean, really, the Giants should be 4-0 in Dart starts. Let's be honest. If they don't turn the ball over 5 times against the Saints, they win that game. They were better than the Saints. They were better than the Broncos for 55 minutes of that ball game. They got
Dude,
something
Dart,
special there. I know you guys are hating on Dable, but I think Dable's a good coach. I think if they get rid of him, that'd be a bad mistake. And but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I just circumstances mean a lot, and so I hate judging that. But then at the same time, you see the retread coaches that go through, or the coordinators that everyone falls in love with to a certain point. Dayball, I mean, Robert Saleh might be one of the best examples right now. Some of my friends are talking about it, where it's like, hey, this guy's an incredible defensive coordinator, but head coach he is not. Dayball, I mean, you have that conversation. He's the incredible offensive coordinator, but he's just not the top guy. It's different skill sets between head coach and coordinator, and I don't know if Dayball matches it.
Look at the Jets now, though. They're 0-7. He must have been doing something right to even get them to what they were doing last year.
I think Saleh would be a good head coach. I think their mistake was their offensive coordinators were always terrible. They were always first-time guys. They weren't any good. Now they're not even coordinators in the league now, or even they're basically position coaches. And I mean, Aaron Rodgers, who knows if he doesn't ever tear his Achilles? I mean, he's looking a lot better this second year back from it. Who knows what happens that first year? But yeah, I mean, with terrible quarterback play, he was winning 7-8 games a year there. I don't think they would be 0-7. I mean, they just bench Fields. That experiment looks like it's done and over with. Going back to Dable, I mean, he brought the best out of Josh Allen, brought the best out of Daniel Jones before Steichen took it to another level, and now Dart. I think there's a lot to like about Dable still in New York. I think as far as GM and the stuff up there, they made a ton of mistakes, but I like the way they've drafted and they've gone heavy on defense. They don't really have a ton, and this is about Neighbors too for the last 3 games. So imagine if they get him back. I like it. I think it's going to get another shot there. If not, he'll get another gig somewhere else down the road.
Yeah, let's circle back to the games though. So you mentioned that was like one of your games, Jason. Any other games that kind of stuck out?
I mean, you said most impressive or ass whipping. I mean, the Chiefs over the Raiders, like
that was an ass whipping, but
31-0. I mean, man, the Raiders have just gotten worse and worse week over week right now.
Yeah, them, Dolphins and Browns.
I mean, there's a lot of ass whippings. I mean, Jason just touched on the Raiders, Dolphins. Let's be honest, Jacksonville did not show up in London. I mean, that game was brutal to watch. I mean, it seemed like 3 and out by both teams for about like 8 possessions in a row. So that was bad. That was
yeah, the Cowboys win. I put it up there too. The Commanders, I don't know this year. I mean, Rome, you give me a lot of flack with my Jaden Daniels takes and stuff all the time. Just the comparison to these quarterback classes right now. But I mean, they have not looked great so far this season. They're sitting at 3-4. The Cowboys, for all their faults, defensively, they have something offensively, and Javonte Williams has been a really good ad from you. Give all your flack to Jerry Jones as a GM, but he's been really solid for them out of the backfield. You get CeeDee Lamb back. Pickens has been really good.
Pickens is phenomenal, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, he was acting like a true number one in CeeDee Lamb's absence, and now you get both of those guys out there. Prescott. For anyone, he's been on First Take probably more than anyone likes, but he can throw the ball and they put up yards. And the Commanders, I don't know if they're going to find it right. Very competitive division now where they're saying, hey, the Cowboys were done. Now they're 3-3. The Commanders are sitting at 3-4 and searching for answers.
Well, they're banged up. Jaden Daniels, man, he also led the team in rushing. He's too skinny. I think he's always been a little too light to handle that kind of punishment. And now he might be out some more games. It's just, they have some wide receivers out, right? So it's gonna be a tough year for them.
Yeah, the Commanders, Rome, it's funny you touch on that kind of small running around being their lead rusher. They had another guy with there a decade plus ago named Robert Griffin that was supposed to be the next big thing. And the same thing happened to him.
They ran to the ground in 2 seasons.
So they, like I said, I touched on it last week. I thought Chicago dominated their offensive line. Dallas dominated that offensive line again. And I don't care how good or mobile your quarterback is. If you don't have a good old line up front and a running game to complement it, you're in trouble. Jaeson touched on it. Dak's lighting up good, but Williams has been great in the backfield. Like, Cowboys got a run game this year. That's what's helped their offense propel to another level. They're just not, hey, Dak, throw it 40, 50 times. Play action's been good. They got the 2 wide outs. Dallas is good offensively. Defensively, good. It's week to week.
They got better.
We'll see how they look this week coming up in Denver. But I've touched on it. 1 week they play great. The next week you think they are, and they just lay an egg. But I'm looking at the Commanders' schedule here. They've got, what do they got? They've got at KC, Seattle, Detroit the next 3
they got
games.
tough stretch. They got tough stretch.
And they're 3-4. I honestly, it's going to be tough for the Commanders. It's going to be tough for the Commanders to make the playoffs. It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
I mean, the Panthers, that take Jaeson gave last week on the Panthers, the 7th seed, you might want to store that one as a clip because it's got an outside
you were
shot.
Excited.
It's got an
Jaeson,
outside shot.
I'd
say it's about 18 to 22% chance of happening. It's got an outside shot.
It's got an outside shot, man. I mean, it's a bad division.
That's really banged up too.
Bad division. And it's a good thing they won too, because they do have like some tough games coming up. The Panthers, they got Bills, Packers in the next 2 weeks.
How long is Bryce Young out for? A week?
Don't know.
Okay, because I believe he's going to miss this upcoming game. Dalton's going to play, which I don't think is bad for them, honestly. Dalton's still going to play.
They got the Bills visiting, and Bills desperately need a win.
Yeah, they do.
And then they go into Green Bay after that, and Green Bay hasn't really put together like a
Green Bay plays well at home. On the road, I don't know what you're going to get from them, but at home, they're pretty solid.
They have not put a solid game since their Week 1 victory over the Lions.
I'll say it right now, Rome. I like the Steelers Sunday night. I like Rodgers to beat them Sunday night.
Dude, I love that. Steelers should have won this past week, man. That was a nice potential game-winning drive at the end. But the defense, expensive defense, and they haven't really been that great this year for the Steelers. Not that great. All right, what other games kind of stick out in your guys' mind? Either a big win or just demoralizing loss.
I mean, Rome, I don't want to turn this into a Bears program every year, but I'm locked into that game. I was fairly confident of all the takes I gave as we went through the spreads there that the Bears were going to easily defeat that 4.5 point spread or whatever it was and get a double-digit victory. And it was there the entire game. And I think defensively, what has given me the most encouragement for the Bears week over week after getting blown out by the Lions is how much better the defense has played. They've gotten guys back healthy with TJ Edwards, Kyler Gordon. Montez Sweat has really showed up big these past couple weeks and kind of proven, worth the money that was paid to be their big time pass rusher and cause a disturbance. Don't even need it in the sacks, but just really causing chaos in the backfield. This isn't a great Saints team, but they have gotten up on some people throughout the year and made things close. And I know, Aaron, did you pick them in Survivor?
I did. I rolled to the Bears, man. I ain't no fool. Nice. I ain't no fool.
You weren't the only one. I had a friend hit me up, and he's gotten on the Bears bandwagon, since they drafted Caleb Williams, and he's been an adopted Bears fan, and we're going, and he calls me. I'm on a flight Friday night, headed up to Rome in the Bay Area. And I'm on the plane. I get this call from him, like, what was this dude calling me for? And he's like, Jay, I got to know, seriously, do we win on Sunday? I'm like, yeah.
This is a guarantee.
We win, guarantee. I said, and I told him, I was like, my guy Aaron has got him in Survivor too, because I know Aaron was going between them and the Patriots, so which either one would have been good this Sunday. But yeah, just felt it with the Bears. I think offensively, still much to be desired, and the Bears, like the Broncos we talked about earlier, haven't really hit their stride offensively under Ben Johnson, but they found the running game the past couple of weeks with Swift.
Looked good.
Swift looked good. Kyle Monungai has gotten some carries and going there too. So, I mean, those are the things. Aaron brought the point home with Williams and what he's doing for the Cowboys and Dak in that running game too. I think the same thing with Caleb and the Bears. Like, these guys can't be dropping back to pass 50 times a game and allowing defense to tee off on them. The running game's important, and I think you've seen that in some victories. So, but defensively for the Bears, that was the biggest thing. Dennis Allen was given a game ball by Ben Johnson at the after the game. Kind of a little bit of a revenge game for him. So I was encouraged by that. It wasn't obviously a big time opponent with the Saints, but you're going into a stretch where the Bears are going to play your AFC North Rome for like the next month, the next month or so. They got the Ravens, they got the Bengals, they got the Steelers coming up. Those aren't going to be easy games. Lamar's probably coming back. You get, the fountain of youth with Joe Flacco. So they needed to win this game and put a stamp on it. Remind me, a year ago the Bears were sitting at 4-2, and then the Hail Mary happened and wiped everything out. So we're back to kind of the same position. But I think we've gotten the type of wins, and I say we as the Bears, the past couple of weeks, that the Bears would have lost that Raiders game. They would have blown that Commanders game at some point, winning the turnover battle. But these are the wins this year that, it's hard to win games in the NFL. And if you can win them in these margins, those are the ones that matter at the end of the year, on the ones that were a 50-50 toss-up that you should have won.
Raiders probably should have won that game, but yeah, at least they pull out the victory. That's something that they did not do last year. So good progress. And they won their sixth, or they at least scored more than 21 points for their sixth game in a row. So
yeah, I mean, like Jason said, a nice win by the Bears. I think they got a lot of stuff cleaned up after the bye week, especially the run game. The run game looks a lot better. That defense got healthy. They're looking a lot better. Other impressive wins. I mean, it's a bad team, but the Patriots, 3 straight road wins. That's impressive.
4-0 away.
Yeah. And, I mean, you kind of hinted on it early in the program, but the Colts pitting it on the Chargers out here, that was impressive. That was an impressive offensive showing by the Colts. My guy Steichen delivering again. I'm impressed by the Colts right now.
Aaron,
that's a good game, man.
Have you picked against Steichen in all of these like showdown games? Because I mean, him versus the Broncos, you're kind of the Aaron Toller Bowl we named, and now
I took Steichen in that one.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure.
I did take the Chargers this week, but yeah, I took.
You did, yeah.
The only time I'd gone against the Colts, I was right. I took the Rams to beat them, and I said we talked about it. I think SoFi might be tough for them, but they just came out pedal to the metal and just pitted on them. They pitted on the Chargers, and the Chargers fought back, but just didn't have enough in the tank to get back in the game. But the Colts, man, they are for real. This ain't no fluke.
I'm doubling down on my Super Bowl pick for them. They look really nice, dude. They have everything that you want in a team. Love the Colts. Texans just scored right now, 12-17, making it tight. We just need the Seahawks to keep it above 3 points, guys.
Yeah, it looks like it was a sack fumble in the end zone there.
Yeah.
They missed the 2-point conversion, I assume.
Not sure. All right.
Yeah, it did fail, so that's good.
Yeah. We basically covered all the games more or less. I really don't have anything else to kind of speak on it.
The only
lines look really good today.
Yeah, the only thing I'd mention just to the games in Rome, I don't know if we're playing, Rome's hot seat yet, but that Dolphins loss, I don't know what they're looking for McDaniel at this point too, but you're sitting at 1-6. This team looks like lifeless.
I'll say this. I don't know what's going on in the state of Florida, but McDaniels must have the same friends as Norvell, because both those guys should be fucking on the same flight out of town right now.
Well, Billy Napier's out. Yeah. Norvell looks gone.
Norvell will be gone, and McDaniels will be gone too.
It's not a coincidence that Florida's a big party state, and they all look like they're all coked out.
Well, Rome, it's funny you mentioned that, because a lot of Florida State fans are saying check Norvell's, office to get that, get out of that buyout of $50+ million. Get it cut down in half, found a little white substance, and let's negotiate.
By the way, they were going over like buyouts on some network on everyone that's been fired so far. Did not know Deshaun Foster was $6 million, the same as the Virginia Tech coach.
Yeah, because they could have waited. It could have went down to $1 million if they waited till December, I believe.
Till December, right? Okay, yeah. That was probably our quickest recap. Any final statements? If we look at the standings, at least.
What's your top 8, Rome?
I do have a new top 8, and it's been kind of tough because I got some guys that I want to put in there, but I just didn't yet. Let me pull up for you. All right, top 8. They were in the top 8 2 weeks ago. Back at number 8 is the Niners with a pretty big win against the Falcons. I know they're home, but they're also depleted. Just great coaching. Everyone's stepping up. McCaffrey having a bounce back season for the ages, having over 200 yards from scrimmage. Bills, it's a bye week. I haven't had the heart to drop them. I really want to and kind of put like the Pats in there, but they are still at number 7. If they lose one more time, or if they have like another uninspiring performance, they will get dropped. Seahawks, number 6. I know this game's not over, but I'm assuming that they're going to be winning. They are at least controlling the ball.
It's kind of the
and they
curse
look
of
really
death,
nice.
Rome. You probably shouldn't have pinned him in your top 8 because everybody that's in your top 8 that's playing seems to lose that day. So let's get Seattle out and let's substitute the Patriots in because they beat the Bills. So that was a miscue. Edit that out and let's get Seattle out of that top 8. Save them for Thursday.
You know, when Rome
Eagles. Go ahead.
I was gonna say when Rome was talking about Aaron, there's two notable ones, and the Patriots are one of them. When he was going through this, I'm like, yeah, I don't know about this, but okay.
Eagles stay in it. They were number 7 last week, so tight little victory. They stay in the top 5. Bucks dropped down to number 4. They were number 1 last week,
and they got beat. Your top 8
they got beat,
cursed, Rome. On a
but
Monday
they got beat
Thursday.
against a really good Lions team. The Rams move up to number 3. They were number 5 last week. Lions back up to number 2, rebounding really nicely from their loss. And Colts are the new number 1, moving up 1 spot. So that's the new Power 8 going into week 8. Pats, I did want to put them in there. I'm not ready to put the Chiefs in there yet. I think a win against a competent team will get them in there.
Did you not even have the Broncos in there, Rome?
Did I not have the Broncos?
Broncos were in it 2 weeks ago, and they've had 2 uninspiring wins. I'm not going to put them in just because they barely inked out of a, jacked up Giants D.
You're like an AP top 25 that would take the number 1 team in the country like out of the poll for winning games by like field goals because they weren't impressive wins.
That was the team, Aaron. I want to spoil what he gets done. As he read this to me, I was like, "You didn't have the Patriots? You didn't have the Broncos in there?" But yes, 2 wins, but we're taking you out.
Yeah, Broncos don't belong in it yet.
Well, if Seattle ends up losing this game, Rome, and Tampa already lost, I think those 2 are out, and then Broncos and Patriots would substitute for those 2.
I'm not dropping the Bucks from number 1 to out of the top 8.
You know what? The Bucks 5-2, Rome, -1 point differential on the year.
You know the Eagles, negative yardage in every game.
Okay,
but they're still winning. Style points count. Opponents count on the road or at home. Who's playing?
That's
not
fair.
just record.
Hey, I don't want the Bears anywhere near your top 8, all right? Because there's a curse associated.
Even
with
the Packers at 4-1-1, were they in there? Did I hear them?
No, dude, no. They are not in there. They don't get to win.
Second best winning percentage in the league.
They were in it in week 5. That was the last time they were in it.
Listen, it's Rome's top 8, Aaron. He's got his reasons. We can't question it.
Not going to. Going to. I just want to know, Rome, on Thursday, I want you to reveal your top 8 because I know at least 2 to 3 of those teams are going to get beat, so I could go the other way. So I could kind of calculate that in my formula.
You got to no-sell it, though, Aaron, because he can't change it. So you'd be like, hey, give me your 8.
So, yeah, okay. Give it to me. Give it to me right now. So
I just gave it to you.
You don't have the Steelers. You don't have what's the Thursday? You don't have the Chargers or Vikings, so I don't need to worry about one of those teams on Thursday.
Who?
But you don't have the Chargers or Vikings, so I don't have to worry about that.
Chargers fell out a while ago.
Sunday night. What's the Sunday night game coming up this week? What do we got in week 8? Was it Chiefs Washington? No, that's Monday night. Sunday night.
If Seahawks
Green Bay
lose
Pittsburgh,
today,
so neither one's in there. But so
Pittsburgh, I was debating of, they fell out. They were 4 last week, but with everybody else having wins,
Seattle just got a field goal for us, so that's good.
Nice. Yeah, if they lose, I would probably bump up everyone else and put in the Pats over the Broncos.
Well, I think you have to put the Pats in over the Bills. They went into Buffalo and beat them on a primetime Sunday night, and they got a half game lead in that division. I mean, Broncos, like you said, Rome, they have struggled, but they are 5-2.
Yeah.
They're better than the 49ers, but what the 49ers are doing is impressive. I mean, Kyle Shanahan, they're better. They're better than that.
As they get guys back on offense, especially, I'm kind of liking this Niner team.
Like I told you, Rome, I think it's Steichen and Kyle Shanahan right now, your 2 coaches of the year front runners, given what they're doing. Ben Johnson will obviously probably be in there as well, but what Kyle Shanahan's done with that roster, pinning a Band-Aid on it and making it look like a supermodel week in, week out, that's impressive right now for the 49ers.
Oh, that's hilarious.
The thing with it, though, with Shanahan mostly, like quarterback play, what he's getting out of Mac Jones right now.
Dude, Mac Jones is phenomenal.
And it was the conversation. I think we talked about it a little bit last year, but I know with a couple of Niners friends I have, when it was about paying Brock Purdy, is like, do you really need to pay a quarterback when you're Kyle Shanahan? Because I feel he can just find the guy that's going to fit within his system and make him successful, with what traits he ever sees. And like paying a bunch of money to not, especially in a salary cap sport, you see where these teams run up against it. Like, the Chiefs, didn't really run on lean times, but kind of ran on lean times because they had to get rid of Tyreek and other weapons and had to figure other ways to win. Putting all that money into a quarterback really limits what you can do and some of the other personnel and playmakers around the team. And when the Niners were their best, remember they were paying dudes on a quarterback on a rookie contract, and they were able to have great linebackers, great offensive line, great skill players, and make the quarterback better. I mean, it's a different way of doing things, but you got to have the right coach. And Shanahan, for all of his faults, I know the Niners aren't happy all the time with Shanahan, but I agree with Aaron. Like, this is real coach of the year type stuff, because hey, you're getting the most out of a team that's, you're just signing dudes off practice squads in the street and making it worth your while to a 5-2 record.
Not only that, every coach that's really coordinated on his staff gets a head coaching gig too, right? Saleh, DeMeco Ryans here, McDaniel's there at Miami. I mean, it sounds like eventually they're all going to make their way back to him. But yeah, real impressive what he's done there for sure for the 49ers. I mean, their schedule is going to get probably a little bit tougher. We can make fun of how their schedule is kind of soft, but, beating Atlanta, and that game really wasn't, I mean, it's close. The score was close, but the 49ers really were dominating that game. They were really in control throughout. That impressive win on a Thursday night with, 9 starters out combined on offense, defense. You just lose Fred Warner. It's impressive stuff what they're doing.
NFC West, man. You got Niners, Rams, and Seahawks. Seahawks potentially can go to 5-2. And you got 3 teams in there 5-2. That is wild. And then your guys' division, NFC North, the 4-1-1 pack, 5-2 Lions, 4-2 Bears, and the Vikings at 3-3.
So, 3 playoff teams again from that division?
I don't know, man. It's too early to say. I think the NFC, though, it's definitely deep, and you're talking about, we only crossed out the Cardinals, Saints, and the Giants. You guys crossed them out. Any other teams to add or not yet, huh? I don't think we're ready to add any other teams on the.
No, I was gonna ask before I got sidetracked. Where do you think Mac Jones ends up next year? Since everybody that goes to play for Shannon always goes somewhere else. I mean, Darnold now shining. Where do you think Mac Jones? Where's a good landing spot for him next year?
I don't know, man. It's too early to say.
I mean, the Jets are always in the market for a quarterback, but
you think Eric Glenn survives?
I don't know.
You were on him pretty early, Aaron, that was not one of your favorite coaching hires, and it's again, I was going to bring it up during the Saleh conversation, but another one of those guys that, hey, great job defensively, but defensive coordinator, not a head coach.
He got put in a losing situation too, though. But that's tough. All right, so we've already crossed off Jets, Titans, Browns, Saints, Dolphins, Raiders. I think we did that last week. We had Bengals, Ravens, Cowboys, Cardinals, and Giants on the life support list. Nothing changes as of week 7, right?
What are the Cardinals right now? 2-5?
Yeah.
I'll bury them. They're not gonna get 3rd or 2nd in that division. So I'll bury them.
All right. They get promoted to the buried list.
Giants?
Sounds good. You put them on the life support list. Actually, Aaron, you did put them on the X list, but I did not fully convert that for you yet.
Oh, the Giants?
Yeah, just because it was mentioned at the end of the pod.
I don't know. They got at Eagles next week, Niners, then at Bears.
I think they could ruin some people's schedules, man.
But we're talking about making the playoffs, right? Or any shot at making the playoffs.
Well, just having anything to root for this.
Look at
year,
Rome. Like, I'll put it this way: they were on life support, and the Broncos took their heartbeat with that winner. So they're dead to me. They are dead to me. But I like them. I'm one of the guys that actually, and I think
they still got a lot to play for this year.
I'll say this: Dable's on life support, but the team in general, I think, is dead for making the playoffs.
Playoffs, yeah, but they got a lot to play for.